Now it's my pleasure to introduce our senior captain of the UMass hockey team, Troy Power, and our hockey analyst that was present for the game, and that's Tommy Kaludi. We're right here with Troy. So Troy, I'm going to start things off by just asking you what it's been like senior year. Obviously, you had that injury and you had to come back for another senior year. So what has it been like being the captain of such a young group of guys?
It's been interesting for sure. I know we've had our ups and downs, but it's been a really great year. I've enjoyed every minute of it. It seems like it's gone by really fast. I feel like I just got here in August, and we're setting things up for training camp, and then before you know it, it's after the Christmas break, and then once we get back, it really flies by. So.
Well, now we're going to go right into senior night because it was such a great game for you guys. So I'm going to ask Tommy, what was that atmosphere like? I know you were there covering the game. Troy was on the ice. So what was that atmosphere like?
I remember my senior night in high school. It was go up. I was the only guy that kissed his mother because I'm just a good person. But it was just kiss your mother, shake your dad's hand, and get off the ice. Well, what I sensed with you guys, at least, it was a really nice family atmosphere. Jill Jakuba, who's the media relations woman for the hockey team, did a great job setting it up. Each of the seniors got their own picture. They went out. They had multiple family members. I thought it was really great. But, I wasn't down on the ice. So, Troy, from your perspective, what was it like your senior night, the emotions down there on the ice? What was all of that like?
It's definitely really emotional. I thought it was great. There was a lot of people that came out to support us and kind of send us off on the right foot, which was really nice despite some tough weather, which was really good to see. Personally, I had 4 members of my family in town. I had my mom and dad, my older brother Chad, and my uncle Randy, who were all able to come out. 3 of them from California, and then my uncle who resides in Colorado now. So it was a big trip, and it was something that it was really nice to have them out there, and I enjoyed it.
So how are you feeling in the locker room before that game? It's your last game here at the Mullen Center. I mean, it's got to be stuff running through your mind. How are you feeling right then and there?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to. I guess it was a little bit harder to prepare for that game. There's a lot more emotions going through your body opposed to just your average game. But I guess you kind of reminisce on all the good moments that you've had or memories that you've made in that building, and I know kind of look around in the stands a little bit more in warm-ups, and really just try to take everything in. So it was fun.
Now I know after that game, I thought you were going to come out to the press table. I was disappointed. I was upset, but I did catch up with assistant captain Oleg Ivanko and goalie Steve Mastelers, and I talked to them about what senior night meant to them and how important it was. So here you'll see a couple of clips and sound bites from them.
That was great. I wasn't a big fan of a big gap between warming up and then maybe 30 minutes of anthems in a row, but it sort of like gets your legs a bit cold. But on that, it was great. I was glad they could come out. I'm sure it's a great experience for them, and I can't wait to see what they have to say about it.
Yeah, it's definitely good. Most of all, it's good to go out with Oleg and all the other seniors together. It's been a tough 4 years here. Not winning all the time, but at the same time, it's been a great time, and it's a good way to go out with it.
So Troy, I understand. 5th year senior, you had that injury, you had to come back. What was it like? I can imagine it was difficult seeing the guys you would have graduate last year, and then on the other note, getting to come back and play that last season. What has that been like for you?
Yeah, it's kind of interesting that you say that. I feel like I almost had 2 senior nights. Obviously, I grew up or grew together with the class that I came in with initially, and it was definitely sad to see all those guys go. A lot of great friendships made, and a lot of memories I made with those guys. And when I did realize that I would be back for another year, the class that I graduated with this year really took me in and made me feel like I've been with them from the start, and it was great. So it's been a real positive experience with both classes, and I'm just really fortunate that I was able to get another year of hockey under my belt.
So let's get down to the other night. Such a great win for you guys. I'll start out with you, Tommy. Just tell me a little bit about what happened in this game and what went on for Troy and the guys.
Well, from what I saw in the UMass game, the guys played really well. It was a really solid defensive effort. Steve Mastelers had another 40-plus save effort. Guys blocked a lot of shots on the PK, excuse me. Sorry about that. We had 2 goals. First one was scored by Madison Smiley, a freshman who has jumped up and started playing forward to replace some of the injured players. Coach Micheletto talked about the whole next man up mentality. We saw a game go into overtime. It was, got really emotional. A goal was scored by Providence, got disallowed, and then Frank Vetrano, who we had a couple weeks ago, came on and put in the winner. So it was a really great game.
So now, Troy, you got to tell me, what were your feelings in that game? Obviously, just a great win in overtime, just a game-winning goal. You had that goal taken away from your opponent. Just tell me what was going through your mind during that game.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of crazy. You're out there in overtime, and we had the lead late in the game, so you think we're pushing to kind of wrap things up, and then they score, so you're like, and they kind of grabbed the momentum there for the remainder of the third period, and we did our best to wrestle it back, and when they scored that goal. Our bench was a little bit deflated, and we were like, "Oh my God, we can't believe we just lost." Especially on a kind of like a weird goal that it was, and once we found out that it was disallowed, there's a lot of energy in the building that got our bench going and kind of gave us a second chance. And I think a little over a minute later, we decided that it was time to end the game.
Time to end, right?
Yeah, so Frankie he buried that the rebound goal, which was great. So it was an awesome time, and celebration was a lot of fun too.
I'm sure.
Now, Troy, tell me about that last shift. I know you, Dennis, and Frank played together at the beginning of the year against Dalhousie. Coaches moved the lines around. What was it like, going out there, makeshift line, realizing, this might be my last shift at the Mullins Center? What do I got to do to win?
It didn't really cross through my head, this would be my last shift or anything like that. But, it was kind of funny. I did think, like, oh, they're putting, me, Kravy, and Frank together. And in the beginning of the year, I think we played the first 5 or 6 games. And we're actually, I don't think we scored together. So for us to come, back, 30 games later, and then finally, find our first, goal together was nice, and definitely in the fashion that it went in.
Now, building off all those emotional highs and lows, I just want to ask you, what has Coach Micheletto done to help kind of mediate such a young team with such a lot of emotion?
I think he's really settled us down, especially with like intermission breaks. Early in the year we knew that at times we'd make mistakes, and he's been good about bringing past victories or past mistakes up in times that we felt that we needed it, and that it could settle us down and stuff like that. And I think we've learned from a lot of the things that we've been through as a team, and especially after break, we've really kind of came together and been better in all areas of our game, which is been good.
Of course. Well, now we're going to ask you one last question, and that's, tell me about a little bit what's going to go on in these Hockey East playoffs. What do you think is going to happen with you guys? You guys have a young team. You're the leader of this team. Tell me what you think is going to happen.
I mean, I think we're all really excited for playoffs. Obviously, we have one more game against UConn before we get there, but everything's really rolling in the right direction. Guys really feel good about where we're at. I think Steve's been playing great. Our defense as a whole has been really great, and we haven't really had too many problems putting pucks in the net lately. So, I think just after Christmas, we've been a really complete team, and hopefully that we can carry that into the playoffs and win the first round or whoever that may be, and just give us a chance to just keep playing hockey for another day, and we'll just see where that takes us. So.
Well, we definitely wish you all the best in the Hockey East. We definitely are pushing for you guys. We think you guys, I mean, you've found the net in a lot of these games lately, and you're putting up great games against top of the line opponents. So we wish you all the best going forward.
Awesome, thank you guys. Appreciate it.
All right, thank you for coming.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks a lot.
All right, we'll be right back to talk UMass basketball. Stay tuned.